Next up, Russ and I are going to talk about some brand new Steelbook news from Titans of Cult, Paramount, Sony, and more. Welcome back to 4K Kings. I'm Matt.
I am Russ.
Thank you for joining us here on the home of physical media, movie reviews, and a lot of crazy good times, apparently. If you're new here, thank you for showing up, clicking that thumbnail, and giving us a chance. And if you've been here before, welcome back. Hope you're happy to be here again. This is very uncomfortable. I feel very awkward.
I'm just sitting here thinking, hey, that intro is hilarious. You better keep that.
So, Russ, today we're here to talk about Steelbooks, everybody's favorite thing. And, I think I've got, let me see here, about, 100 Steelbooks to talk about, such as The Last Dragon, Sleepy Hollow, Gladiator from Titans of Cult. Titans of Cult's coming back. The Nightmare Before Christmas, Halloween, Friday the 13th, and a bunch more. But we're going to start off with Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. Now, this is obviously a new release. This isn't a classic film that's getting a new upgrade or a new 4K release in a Steelbook. This is something that we knew we were going to get anyway. I really just wanted to give Tom Cruise a shout out here. It's really all I wanted to do.
I have never worried, Matt, about what other people think and what other people say.
You know me, Russ. I'm a box set kind of guy. There's going to be a part 2.
True.
I'm not going to pick this up. I'm going to pick up the box set. It's a ton of practical action. Obviously, Tom Cruise is doing a ton of shit in here that's real. Some that's not. That was one thing that they mentioned, or Christopher McQuarrie mentioned. He's like, we want to do as much practical as we possibly can, which I can respect. And I respect this movie. It's an excellent action movie. Tom Cruise has got a hit on his hands, even though he's now in the shadows of Barbenheimer.
I'm just living my life, Matt. It's something that, I'm just living my life.
Next up, Russ, something that I know you are super excited about, or at least you should be, or at least you said that this is something you want, so I'm happy for you. Scream 3 coming out in a Steelbook.
Yes!
This isn't exactly the thing you were hoping for.
Of course not. Scream 3 is terrible.
Thank you.
But the thing you were hoping for is that a 4K original Trilogy box set has been announced to go along. And I know you have mentioned that before, that the first 3 in a box set would be great. You already have 2.
No, I never said that.
Are you kidding me?
I understand
What did
why
you want,
you
the
would
original
think
2
that.
only?
Yeah, and that's what I
the third
bought.
was included.
No, you're mistaking my stories. I own the Blu-ray set.
I don't know you at all.
3 is terrible. I've always hated Scream 3. From the first, I saw it in the theater and I hated it. That's why I bought. I own Scream 1 and Scream 2 on 4K, and that's it. I'm done. My Scream collection is complete. But good looking out.
I'm embarrassed.
I thought you were going to hit me with some hard shit.
I was really excited to show you this. I really thought this was the one. Well, anyway.
Wait.
Scream
Now, hold
3.
on. Hold on. Now I feel bad. Look, friend-wise, I'm sorry I got that angry.
Scream 3.
That was really kind of you.
In a Steelbook, and it's red, and it looks like hell. I feel like this sucks because 1 and 2 in their Steelbooks aren't red. This really fucks up your whole shelf motif if you were waiting for 3 in a Steelbook.
I'll say this too, if they wanted to do some inspired artwork, they could focus on the scariest thing in the movie, which is Courtney Cox's hair.
Thank you.
Matt, it's not just me being witty. The internet even caught on to how bad her hair is in this. She caught on and responded to it. I'm not joking.
Whether it was the blonde. Oh, well, that was the worst. I don't want to, I forgot about it. There's nothing worse.
Out November 27th on 4K Ultra HD from Titans of Cult on the comeback trail, trying to win Russ back.
Titans of Cult and I have a history.
There's been some injury. There's been some disappointment. There's been a lot of pins involved.
If I'm going to go grab this off my shelf to watch the movie, I have to kind of maneuver through this big toy box and juggle some pins when I just want to watch a movie.
They are offering basically a whole new product. They have gotten rid of the whole plastic box.
Somebody over there watched our review of Clockwork Orange. If you go back and rewatch the video, of course, it was amped up for comedic effect, but the points stand. The only physical media item I've ever purchased, or I threw away. I threw away the case.
Yeah.
I just kept the Steelbook.
The first one I bought was Casino Royale, and that's at the same time that we were like talking about yours, and kind of like, do we like this? Do we not like this? And you kind of like went completely off the deep end saying no. I buy the Matrix, and as soon as the Matrix shows up and I'm looking at all 3 that I have now, I'm like, this is just dumb. So I scrapped everything, and all I kept was the Steelbook. So I still have my Steelbooks, which, I mean, they're nice Steelbooks. I think my biggest problem was that whole package, that whole plastic box was like $50 some for a Steelbook, 2 pins, and a plastic box. And I mean, I'm not spending $50 on a Steelbook that should be $30 at best.
And like you said, there's nothing inherently wrong with, say, this Matrix Steelbook. But if this is ultimately what you spent that money on,
yeah,
Best Buy Steelbooks knocked this out of the water. You know?
Yeah, of course.
They knocked this out of the water.
They knocked this right out of the water. It's like a nice, you know, like green, red, blue. Like they did like their nice little color schemes and stuff. They did nice work. It's nice work. But the packaging sucked ass. And now they are apparently trying to right those wrongs and to win back really anyone that maybe they drove away, like you, and maybe trying to draw a new crowd in.
I will give them something they've never seen before.
What they're doing now is 2 editions. They have a Titan edition and then they have a Supreme edition. The Titan edition is £50 in the UK and £100 for the Supreme. So for the Supreme edition, you're looking at $127 before shipping. So probably $140 by the time all is said and done. And for the regular Titan edition, you're looking at $63 and then shipping. So probably in the 70 range for what we're about to look at here. All right, so let's look at the Titan edition first, or like I like to call it the Mad Villainy edition. I mean, I know that he wears this mask, but is this mask the movie? I don't think so.
All it does is mask the problem, Matt.
It's kind of a weird, striking, like just big ass mask on a box. That box is a rigid box with a Steelbook inside. Now, you get some nice looking photo cards here. And then they have a nice pin, which, I mean, that pin could be a MF Doom pin or a Gladiator pin. You take your pick. I think it looks pretty cool. Then they have the Steelbook, which looks like a nice Steelbook. It doesn't say Gladiator on it. It's just got this, you know, imagery. The newest thing that they add in here, this is what made me chuckle, is they give you like a Steelbook stand, like a little crystal-looking Steelbook stand that has the title of the film on it. And then you slide your Steelbook into it so your Steelbook can stand up if you want to put it on display. With these little clippies that are going to keep my Steelbooks standing upright like little gentlemen on the shelf.
Little gentlemen.
Little steel gentlemen.
Little steel gentlemen. Yeah, I was about to say, it's actually a cool idea to include that, but I wouldn't display Gladiator.
It's funny to me because I put things on display that I personally like or want to or think looks really good. What they're telling me here is I'm giving you something that you're going to want to display. But this is a nice hard outer box. You're going to get a Steelbook that slides in, the cards and everything that goes with it. So even if I laughed at some of this stuff, I think this is much better than what they were doing.
Oh, definitely.
And I'm curious to see what other titles they put out in this fashion.
Doubt.
So here we have the rigid Supreme box. So you have the full face mask of MF Doom himself. On the inside, you've got the same Steelbook. Inside, you're going to have this metal Icono Art metal poster with a magnetic mount. So this giant metal poster is inside. You get the same pin, you get the same stand, you get the same cards, and now you're also going to get some concept art posters. So essentially, it's a bigger box with a metal poster and some concept art to go inside. That's what the difference is here. When you look at these both, at first, it was kind of hard for me to tell, like, what's the size difference here? And if you look at both of them, the bigger one looks more like my Godfather up there.
Wow.
This thing is massive. And I feel like an asshole. That also brings me back to what I said a second ago, where they are being very presumptuous here by saying, here's this stand where you're going to want to show off our steels, and here's this gigantic box with MF Doom's mask on it where you're going to want to put that on your shelf. I mean, why are you assuming that your stuff is good enough for me to put it on my shelf?
I agree with you. I wouldn't mind if Arrow did it. I wouldn't mind if Criterion did it, but you're right. It's very presumptuous of Titans of Cult because you have not earned anyone's trust.
Not yet. While the materials might be really good, and I am willing to hold all judgment on the quality of the product itself until we end up getting one or someone mails us one. But just looking at them side by side, it's too much mask. It's like not enough of what the movie is. I mean, I know that's Russell Crowe, he's wearing that mask, but it's just a lot of mask to look at, just in my opinion.
I am not entertained.
I'm excited to see what it's like in someone's hands, to see if it's worth that money. If you are getting one out there, let us know. But moving along, Russ, we talked last week about the Blob, and just like we predicted, it is getting a Steelbook from Best Buy. Here it is for $34.99. Having not seen this movie, and I'll let you do a counterpoint here, I don't like this at all.
I don't either.
I don't believe this shit.
I like it even less than that Purple Rain cover you showed me. I prefer that original one. That looks awesome. This just looks stupid to me.
I'm with you. I was no fan of the Purple Rain edition, but it's better than this.
This woman here looks cheaply drawn. Why does she have one gigantic leg and one little leg?
It's the biggest son of a bitch you've ever seen.
Sleepy Hollow, Russ, September 5th. Movie fans have been clamoring for Sleepy Hollow. This was previously released on Blue by Paramount in a digibook. And now what they've done, Russ, is something that I've actually never seen. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the Steelbook cover here is the exact same art and cover as the digibook. They look the exact same. But what they've done is they've kept the inner booklet and made it a Steelbook digibook. Have you seen such a thing? It's like connected in there. It's not separate. You know, like when you open a digibook, it's the book is connected to the inner spine. Like this is connected. What is going on?
Interesting.
I'm gonna buy it
Are you?
just for that. I was on the fence.
I've never seen
already.
this either.
It's the last great Tim Burton movie.
The last great.
It's the last good Tim Burton movie.
Oh, good.
Where it's
You
still
downgraded it.
I did because when you repeated great, I'm like, no, it's not Beetlejuice or Edward Scissorhands or anything like that.
Okay.
But it's the last good Tim Burton movie that feels like the Tim Burton we all fell in love with. Christopher Walken.
Christopher Walken solid.
Yeah.
All
I mean,
right.
Christopher Walken is the headless horseman. He's
Yeah.
not doing. I think
Too
you
much.
see him like once. I'm telling you, I was on the fence about it. Now I want to see the ungodly merging of a Steelbook and Digibook in person. They won me
right.
over.
They
with
won
this-
you over.
with this bastard child of physical media.
Well, Tim Burton adjacent, Nightmare Before Christmas. Now, Nightmare Before Christmas is coming out August 22nd on 4K Ultra HD from Disney, who, by the way, is ceasing physical media in Australia as we speak. You're also getting a regular edition of this too. Fans are clamoring for this, Russ, and they are super excited to get what Disney Plus already has. But unfortunately, in the Steelbook, we're getting, are you ready?
Oh, is it going to be that Vault, the refrigerator magnet?
It's the
Yes!
fucking refrigerator magnet.
Yes, the Frigidaire
Dude.
edition.
Again, this is a Steelbook segment. We're talking about Steelbooks here. There is a regular edition that's got normal art that is fine. But if you're a Steelbook person, you are now getting this hideous Nightmare Before Christmas refrigerator version, which sucks.
I'm moving to Australia.
Also, coming out October 3rd, something that I wasn't really too interested in seeing, but a reason why I want to cover it for a specific reason is the movie Prey, which is the next line in the Predator franchise, Russ. Are you familiar with this movie?
No.
Hearing about it, anything at all? I don't trust anyone anymore, and I think you would agree. But I will say that it was surprising to at least read that this movie got overwhelmingly positive reviews for what it was. And I don't remember seeing overwhelmingly positive reviews for really many of the Predator, more recent Predator sequels. So to see one of them get positive reviews, I was at least curious. I still haven't seen it, but it's coming out in a Steelbook from Best Buy, which, you know, it looks like captures the movie pretty well. But the reason why I wanted to cover it is this movie was released streaming only. This wasn't in a theater. This was a streaming only
And
movie.
it's getting a physical release.
Yes. And it's also Disney, which is even fucking weirder because
Well, it's
I know
the Predator universe.
it is, but we've heard a lot of news about, you know, Disney shutting down physical media the same week. There's been news that Steelbooks are coming out in 4K for the Loki TV show, the WandaVision TV show, Mandalorian TV show. All of these that are on Disney Plus streaming exclusively are getting their own 4K Steelbooks from Disney, which is really bizarre.
I mean, Disney's been losing a lot of money. Maybe
they-
they're trying to go back to traditional revenue streams.
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting development. So whether you pick up Prey or not, maybe you should, just to like say, hey, we're still out here, Disney.
That's what it sounds like to me. Almost like they're testing the waters to revert back to an older model, and they're doing it with titles that
Yep.
are fanboy collector dreams, like
Yeah.
Predator.
I know, and
I may watch this movie and support it
That's
now.
what I'm saying. I heard the good reviews, whether it's great or not great, at least it might be entertaining based on what I read. Plus, you're supporting physical media on something that was once streaming only. So, hey, give it a try.
That brightened my day.
But moving right along, Russ, to a hotly anticipated and one of your new favorite movies, The Last Dragon. Here comes Sony doing their Steelbook thing, which we do like. I love Sony. I love what they're doing out there. They're known for their bomb-ass Steelbooks like Fright Night and Matilda. Now, this is arriving with a new 4K restoration of the film. You're getting that Dolby Vision HDR. You're getting a new Dolby Atmos track and a new fan commentary with comedian Amber Ruffin and author Lacey Lamar. Disc 2 has a Blu-ray and a commentary with the director and a Return of the Dragon featurette. So not a ton coming along here. It's not like Fright Night level of features, but their Steelbooks are awesome. This art is cool. It must own for the Last Dragon fan, which, Russ, tell the people you're a Last Dragon fan.
This will probably be in my top 5 of the year.
Kiss my Converse.
Oh, snap. How come? Tell me more.
Dude, this movie is so good. It's damn near. I would almost argue it's a perfect movie. This movie is the combination of Big Trouble in Little China, Bloodsport, Miami Connection.
I know what you mean.
Throw in some like breakdancing, some hip hop stuff, the 80s New York.
Vanity.
Vanity, yes, who's beautiful. I mean, hell, I guarantee you a lot of people know the music more than the movie. I legitimately love damn near every song in it. But like, riddle me this, Matt. Do you think more people know that song, to the beat of the rhythm of the night? See what I mean? I mean, there's a whole part in this movie where it's basically just a music video of that song. But you see how like that transcended, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's so much stuff. I mean, this movie is a cultural landmark.
What should I do, Russ?
Buy it immediately. Show enough. And I'll tell you this, it is so funny.
Russ, I'm broke. This, Natural Born Killers, let me
I
be.
know, its heart is on its sleeve. You love Leroy. Man, come on.
You saw this for the first time last year?
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't even grow up on it. I always knew about it. I always was aware of it, but I never sat down and watched it beginning to end until last year. And I'm that goddamn ecstatic about it.
So I should click the pre-order button. It's taking me to Amazon. Here it is, $29.99, Russ.
If you're a 4K king, you know what to do.
Oh, wow, look at it.
To the beat of the rhythm of the
All right,
night.
fine. Pre-order. I'll give you a pre-order. Sony's been killing it with the Steelbooks. I know it's going to be awesome.
That too. Support it, man.
Yeah.
They've been actually choosing,
Some
like
good
they're
ones.
not going for the obvious ones. They're actually kind of like Fright Night, Last Dragon. Wasn't Real Genius, Sony? You're getting these weird, like sweet spots. I love it.
Well, something else that maybe to be excited about, maybe not, but again, this is a Steelbook segment, and god damn it, we're going to cover some Steelbooks. Friday the 13th, the original in 4K, is coming out in a Steelbook, Russ. October 10th, from Paramount, again, slinging these steels out. Now, this was previously released in 4K, in just a regular Amaray case with the original art on it. So you're going to get the OG art steel, but then a slipcase that goes over top. Not sure how hardcore fans feel about this slide-down case over top.
I thought that OG steel existed already.
There is an OG steel
Isn't the only-
Blu-ray,
it's a Blu-ray.
but the title treatment is flipped. It's on the bottom, whereas this one is on the top. So what do you think about this slip, though?
I think it's silly.
Are you crazy?
I don't know what it's for. What is that for? Who cares?
I don't either.
I don't mind protecting these steelbooks, but make it make sense. I don't understand what's going on here.
Nothing about that invokes Friday the 13th to me at all. Let's just keep it real. If you don't own that Scream Factory box set, every other release of Friday the 13th has been a death curse.
Well, what about Halloween, Russ? The new trilogy coming out in a steelbook collection. All three.
Sweet.
Picking that up?
Hell no.
Well, you should.
I like it when they do a steelbook box set and the box itself is also steel.
I don't own anything like that, but I know what you're talking
My
about.
Batman one's like that. You know, these movies might suck and there might not be really any fans for it, but if you are a fan of it, this is kind of a cool touch. Coming out from Studio Canal, October 18th.
I may in the future pick up part 2 of this trilogy. That one, I think, has the potential to grow on me as a comedy. I didn't watch the third one, and I didn't like the first one at all. Part 2 with my man Anthony Michael Hall.
Yeah.
I feel like that one's going to grow on me as a comedy over the years. Just like the way all the townspeople came together with their random weapons to take down Michael. Like somebody's holding like a fucking iron.
Yeah.
Like, dude.
Evil dies tonight.
Evil dies tonight.
Evil dies tonight! Evil dies tonight! Evil dies tonight!
What about H2O Halloween Steelbook just announced? So this is just an anniversary Steelbook of it. What do you think?
I'm kind of scared now.
It's got that slide down art with the pumpkin on it. See how it's a pumpkin, and over here it's not. You cover up, the pumpkin's covering up Michael Myers.
I haven't bought any of the Halloween 4Ks because I was waiting for some bomb-ass set from Scream Factory. In my opinion, it's like in the middle of the Halloween franchise in terms of quality.
I got paid.
Megan. In the version that fans have been dying for, and that's the uncut version, and you're getting it in a steelbook of all things. So this is coming out October 10th from Universal, the dancing sensation in the unrated cut. Fans have been clamoring. It's finally here. Russ, your take.
Well, thank you, Matt, because I've seen it and you haven't.
All of it.
All of it?
The artwork, you've seen it. Would you pick it up? Do you want to see the unrated cut? Give me everything you got.
I enjoyed this movie, and I wasn't expecting to. In comparison to everything we typically get year in, year out of the past decade, which tends to be shit, I admire what it was going for. It won me over. Enough to purchase, I don't know. But I'm torn because I almost want to support it. Again, it's a modern, newer film on physical media. I almost want to support it, but I can't say I loved the movie that much.
Ghost Dog, Way of the Samurai.
Jim Jarmusch made it. He basically, at the time, I think he described it as he threw a bunch of his interests into one. He was getting into martial arts films. He was friends with Forrest Whitaker and wanted to work with him. They talked.
Yeah.
And he was just discovering like Wu-Tang and getting into that. And yes, I'm a fan of Wu-Tang. I'm a fan of Jarmusch.
So are you going to get Ghost Dog?
That cover's ridiculous.
Yeah. Maybe you're right.
One last thing, our favorite thing, limited edition reprints are back. Coming out here in September, I believe. You're going to get titles like Ghostbusters 1 and 2 in your limited edition reprints deal. You're going to get titles like The Equalizer. You're going to get titles like The Fifth Element. But you're also going to get titles like Fright Night, Lawrence of Arabia, Crouching Tiger, and The Hidden Dragon. And so if you really thought you were special by getting that Fright Night and it sold out and you had to buy it for $100 on eBay, well, guess what? Sony's spitting right in your face.
For real.
I hope that my Steelbook itself is like got a serial number or whatever. So this one has like LER on it, so I know the difference between mine's the good one and you got the bullshit reprint.
We're at a point where we need certificates of authenticity.
But that's all the Steelbooks, Russ. That was a lot of Steelbooks.
That's a healthy roundup. Shout out to Disney for doing the right thing.
Please hang in there. We have a very special video coming soon where we're going to cover a very special release. Russ, do you want to show the people what we're going to be covering?
I'd love to. This may very well be the Blu-ray release of the year.